Hello, everybody. Welcome to Frontline Football, your one place for all your news, rumors, updates, and highlights across the NFL season and off season. I just want to say welcome to the new podcast. And if you're listening from SoundCloud or wherever you're getting your podcast from, welcome. This is Frontline Football, and we do this every single week. And today we're doing two sections. So I would say to watch our previous video, which will be linked in the description, for some time on what we've been covering. So, I've been Josh from Frontline Football, and roll the intro.
All right, guys, welcome to Frontline Football. Are we good for our first podcast? All right, no answer, but
Should be recording.
cool.
Okay. Awesome.
I don't really. Okay, let's just say it is. All right, guys, welcome to Frontline Football. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome from our YouTube, and if you guys are watching on our podcast now, welcome to our podcast. All right, we're gonna get this started off with Week 2 predictions with the Browns Texans. I have to go take a really big cough, so Josh, go ahead and say your take.
Okay, so our first week we have the Browns versus the Texans. This is going to be a matchup where the Texans out here. Yes, you heard me here. I am picking the Cleveland Browns to win this game. I'm going to hand it off to Jack for his take.
All right, for this one, pretty simple. I'm going to pick the Browns. I think the Browns have big aspirations this year moving forward. I think there's a bit of a mismatch between Houston's run defense and Cleveland's run game. I think Browns will take care of business in this one. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I got the Cleveland Browns. They're really good, and I don't think Houston can keep up with Cleveland. So I think Cleveland's a Super Bowl contender, so it's kind of obvious. All right, with our next team, we got the Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to hand this one off for Jack.
Ooh, fun matchup, because I think it could go either way. But as of right now, I'm just going to lean on what I feel is going to be the better team this year, and that's going to be the Buffalo Bills. Miami's going to keep it close because they have an elite defense that's probably going to stay either the same or get slightly better, but it'll all depend on how good Tua is in the game. He'll be the X factor. You know Josh Allen's going to show up, but will Tua? And I'm going to go with the Bills here to win the Week 2 game. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Okay, so I believe that this will be a really good, but I think it's going to come down to really the home field advantage aspect, and it especially being in Miami, where Miami usually gets wins whenever they're home. So I have the Miami Dolphins winning this first matchup here, because I think that Miami and Buffalo are going to split their series. So, Zach, what are your thoughts?
I got the Miami Dolphins beating the Buffalo Bills. They have home field advantage. I think Buffalo will keep it close, but I think Miami will get the win here. And I think that they're going to split, though. So, yeah. Now we're going to go on to Denver versus Jacksonville. I'm going to hand this one off to Josh.
Okay, so with Denver and Jacksonville, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars winning. I bet Trevor in his second week will win because it's the Broncos. I don't think that Trevor's going to have a hard time against them as much as he did against because of that running back committee, which was bolstered today with Rex Burkhead. So I say that Jacksonville is now 1-1 on the season. But the Broncos are 0-2. They're still looking for their first win. So I'm going to hand this off to Zach for his take.
I think that this is actually going to be a Broncos win because, number one, that defense, you can never actually think, Trevor will win just because how bad the Broncos are. The Broncos were bad because they had bad injuries. I think the Broncos get a win here. Their corners are really good, and I don't think Trevor can actually handle what these corners they got. So I'm going to go Denver with their first win of the season. Jack.
All right, I'm also going to go with Denver here. I think Trevor's saying this will be a good defense. It's going to turn some heads. It's going to be a pleasant surprise in a lot of NFL circles. I think this will be the first defense that legit Trevor sees, and I think he's going to struggle, maybe throw a pick or two, and lose a close, gritty defensive game. So I'll take the Broncos here.
All right. With our next matchup, we got the New York Jets versus the New England Patriots. Jack.
All right. I understand. Once again, I'm picking against the Jets. I'm going to pick the Patriots here just on the basis of Bill Belichick has a thing. I don't know what it is, but he takes care of business with rookie quarterbacks, unless your name's Mark Sanchez. So I'm going to pick him here. I think that defense is going to confuse Zach Wilson a bit, and much like Trevor, it's going to be like the first true legit defense he faces this year, and I think it's going to confuse him, get a couple looks. And I think, like I said last episode, the Jets will turn it on a little bit later in the season, not early. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I gotta. Freaking Bill Belichick has so much film on Zach. Well, not too much, as much as like Trevor Lawrence, but he has a lot of film on Zach Wilson from college, and he already has week 1 film from him if they start Zach Wilson off the bat. Now, this might be a little bit of a Jets win because maybe he doesn't know how to scheme around him, but I think Belichick will really make Zach Wilson make some mistakes with Gilmore and all that great defense that they have. And Cam Newton, this is interesting. Cam Newton's pretty good like in the early weeks. I don't think they're instantly starting Mac Jones because that's just stupid. So, yeah. Josh?
Okay, so with this matchup, I have the New York's being the New England Patriots. Well, yes, I do believe that Wilson will struggle. I believe Cam Newton would have already been moved on by at this time. So I think that Mac Jones is also going to struggle, and it will not be a very good offensive battle. It will be a very good defensive battle. So I have the Jets barely squeaking out here. I'm going to say probably by some kind of fluke or something. Or maybe, just a touchdown that Zach was going to throw. But it's going to be the New York Jets winning right here.
All right. With our next matchup, we got the Kansas City Chiefs with the Baltimore Ravens. This is a really good matchup, and I'm going to take this one. I'm going to say that the Kansas City Chiefs are beating – actually, no, I'm going to say Baltimore is beating them. Baltimore always has a really good week. They have really good regular season usually, and I think that they'll get the Kansas City Chiefs here. They're home. They'll beat them for the first ever time with Lamar Jackson. Jack?
I think I have to go with the Chiefs here because there's a lot of things. First off, the Ravens, I don't think Lamar's beaten Mahomes, or he's only beaten him once. And there's 3 things certain: death, taxes, and Mahomes and Reed dominating in September. And I think that cycle's going to repeat here, and I think they're going to get the win and go over Baltimore here. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Okay, so I believe that the Kansas City Chiefs will win here just because even though that the Ravens have some good, I just think that KC will just be a bit better. And knowing from the last football matchup that we've seen them in, I think that this is a pretty open and shut case that KC will be winning this game.
It's not open and shut because I'm freaking choosing the Ravens, but okay. All right. The next matchup is the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to hand this one off to Josh.
Okay, so with this matchup, I believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers will be winning because, one, they are healed, and usually the Raiders don't start heating up until the mid-season, and that's when people start to – they're like, oh, well, maybe the Raiders could make the Super Bowl or something. That's usually when the playoff and Super Bowl stuff starts to come in. So I say that Pittsburgh will be winning this match here. Zach, what are your thoughts?
All right. There's actually a statistic that usually goes around. The Las Vegas Raiders are winning this matchup. I don't even care how bad the Raiders are. They always will beat Pittsburgh in a matchup anytime they face off. If it's at home, if it's our way, the Raiders will always beat the Steelers. This has been a consistent thing that's been going on in the league for a long time. So I think Vegas got this. Jack?
Ooh, this one's tough, but seeing a Mike Tomlin-led Steelers team going down to 0-2 is tough. So I'm going to give the edge to the Steelers. That's close, but I don't have a lot of hope in the Raiders at this point in time, so I'll give the edge to the Steelers win on the back of a strong run game with Najee Harris.
All right, now for our next matchup, the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Chicago Bears. I'm going to hand this one off to Jack.
Ooh, Bengals versus Bears. I guess we don't know who will be starting at this point. I'm going to assume Fields. I think Fields takes over pretty quick, and I think he's going to get an eye-opening win over the Bengals here. So I'm going to take the Bears here to beat the Bengals in Justin Fields' first career start. I think Andy Dalton will take week 1, and then Justin Fields take over. Give me the Bears here. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I have to go with the Chicago Bears. They have a really good, if Fields is starting, they have a really good offense. Their defense is elite, and yeah, they'll just really mess up Joe Burrow in this matchup. Khalil Mack will really get a lot of sacks this matchup. So, Josh?
I think the Chicago will be winning here because, like everybody else said, I think Fields is starting here, and I believe that Joe Burrow's going to give Fields a run for his money, but I believe that defense will stop just like one of Joe Burrow's passes to the zone of the game. It will be close, but the Bears will win the game.
All right. With our next matchup, we have the Dallas Cowboys versus the LA Chargers. Josh?
Okay, so as much as I may want to choose the Cowboys, which you know we really like the Cowboys here, I don't want to choose the Chargers are winning. We don't really like the Cowboys anyway. So the Chargers will be winning this matchup. I'm going to say pretty handily here because I don't think that all the Cowboys pieces are going to be locked and loaded yet. And I think this is going to be Herbert's basically MVP-like game. So I think Chargers winning, and I'm going to hand this one off to Jack.
I'm also going to go with the Chargers here. I think at some point the Cowboys are going to pick up the slack and wake up, but I think they're going to have a little bit of struggles early as Dak tries to get back to 100%, has to play real football for the first time in nearly a year. I think it's going to take a little bit of time to gel. As for Justin Herbert, I think someone's going to come in with lightning in a bottle and dominate. I think big things for Justin Herbert, and beating America's team is going to be just the beginning. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Well, I am going to go with the Chargers. So with our next matchup, we have the LA Rams versus the Indianapolis Colts. I will take this one. I say the LA Rams will beat these guys because the Rams are really good, especially with Stafford and that defense. I don't think that this will be a bad game for Carson Wentz. So, yeah. Jack?
I'm also going to have to go with the Rams here. Super high on the Rams this year overall, and I think the Colts will keep it relatively competitive, but I think a costly Carson Wentz turnover is going to cost them at the end. So the Colts are going to start out 0-2. I think the Colts are eventually going to pick it up, but I think the Rams are just a better team right now, and I think they'll take care of business here. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I think that the LA Rams will win here because while the Colts do look somewhat good, I think it's going to take a little bit more time for Wentz and receivers and his offense all to gel together. So I believe that the Rams will be taking this one because they're a great defense. But I think it's going to be the result of a Wentz turnover or something.
Okay. With our next matchup, we got the Seattle Seahawks versus the Tennessee Titans. Josh, take this one. Bless you.
Thank you. This is going to be the Tennessee Titans win here. And I think I actually just did the thing that Quentin Woods did was first being drafted. But, yeah, I think that the Titans will be taking this one here. It is CenturyLink, so it will be a tough game. But I think Derrick Henry will run all over the Seahawks defense, especially blitz boy Jamal Adams. Now, on this channel, we don't think that Jamal Adams is bad. We just think that the value that Seattle gave up for him and how much he wants paid is not the same thing as his play on the field. So I'm going to hand this one off to Jack for his take.
I'm going with Seattle here. I think Derrick Henry in the run game keeps them in it, but at the end of the day, I think that Russell Wilson always starts out hot, no matter what. Week 1 through 6 MVP every single year. I think he's going to torch the inexperienced Tennessee secondary. Got to remember, a lot of moving pieces in there, cut a couple of their key corners, and I think moving forward, DK and Lockett are going to take care of business here, and they're going to get a win on the back of Russell Wilson's arm. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Seahawks are really good. Russell Wilson's an MVP for week 1 to 6 or week 1 to 7 sometimes. But I have the Seahawks winning because it's early Russ, and Russ will start cooking. So we got Seahawks. All right, with the next matchup, Giants football team. I'm going to hand this one off to Jack.
Ooh, fun matchup here, but I think I'm going to give this one, though the Giants have beaten the football team, like sweeped them 2 years in a row now, I think Washington's going to get it done here. I just think that the defense is going to spook Daniel Jones a bit, and I think they're going to take care of business here. What are your thoughts, Zach?
We're okay. I got the New York Giants. I think that offense will be clicking really well, and I don't think that Washington will handle the offense and the defense. That D-line is so underrated, and I think that the Giants will be they'll be a good team for the NFC East. So, yeah. Josh.
I will be choosing the Washington football team here because I think that they're going to show that they are one of the best at what they do. And I think that this will really just cement who they are and who they're going to be for years to come against the NFC East. And I believe that they're going to division look great on the backs of them. So I think that this will be a statement win for Washington, and they'll probably tie the series, but I think they're going to win this first game.
All right. With our next game, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Atlanta Falcons. Josh?
Tampa, is this even a game? No, it really isn't. It's going to be a blowout because Kyle Pitts is going to get flustered by Tampa Bay's amazing defense. And Matt Ryan is just going to get rushed all day by people like Shaq Barrett and Ndamukong Suh and even all the new pieces that they brought in. So I don't think that this will be even a matchup just because of how much the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are basically the football version of the Golden State Warriors. So, yeah, this is going to be Tampa's win all the way. Zach, what are your thoughts?
Tampa. They won the Super Bowl. They're going to keep up this consistency. Only if Brady regresses, that's the only way that Atlanta wins. Jack.
Tampa. This one's pretty simple. I think that Brady's going to slowly but surely take care of the Falcons' defense, and I think the Buccaneers' defense is going to do enough to take care of business here. Bucks.
All right. Arizona Cardinals versus the Minnesota Vikings. Since I'm the Cardinals fan here, to all the podcast members, I'm going to be taking this one. I got Arizona beating Minnesota. Minnesota has a great team. Harrison Smith and Patrick Peterson. We get to watch Patrick Peterson again. But I got Arizona. Their high-flying offense is so fun to watch. And now we just got more pieces for it. This is going to be a really good season for Arizona. I got Arizona with a dub. Jack.
I'm also going with Arizona here. Now, I like Minnesota. I think they're going to be good moving forward, but I think their biggest issue is similar to how the 49ers are, is their cornerbacks are super weak and the D-line is extremely good. So I think mobile quarterbacks, in that case, take care of business against them because they're able to expend the play time and they're able to eventually get that secondary to break. And Kyler Murray is one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the league. So I think this is a major mismatch here, specifically on that side of the ball. And on that alone, I'm going with the Cardinals. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I think that the Arizona Cardinals will be winning it here. Well, I do believe that this will show signs of maybe starting Kellen Mond. I don't believe that at the earliest he'll start after Minnesota's bye week. If he's showing good, maybe before then. But I believe that the Cardinals will be taking this matchup here, and this will not be one of the dumb losses that the Cardinals take. So this is going to be Arizona's win here, and they're going to start out I believe it's 2-0 for this. Yeah, 2-0.
All right, the next matchup I will also be taking is the Philadelphia Eagles versus the San Francisco 49ers. This is not even a match. It's going to be the 49ers. The Niners are super good, especially not injured. And maybe you can start Trey Lance just because of how much you guys are going to be beating them by. So, yeah. Jack.
I'm also taking San Fran here. I'm not super high on the Eagles this year as a whole, but overall, San Fran's going to be coming back with a vengeance. And I think overall, the defensive line alone, the elite defensive play, and good enough offensive play is going to get them the win here. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I got San Francisco winning here. Well, I do believe that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be starting just because I think of Lance's inexperience. They're going to be starting the better caliber player at the time, which will be Jimmy Garoppolo. And I do believe they're going to be beating them. While Hurts will put up a battle against them, it's not going to be enough. So San Fran will be winning here.
Okay. With our next team, we have the Carolina Panthers versus the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to hand this one off to Jack.
This is tough, but I'm going to give this one... I'll give it to the Saints. I think that defense is going to be able to sort of take care of Sam Darnold for the most part because I think they're a little more experienced, but I could see this one going either way, to be honest. But for now, I'm going to give the edge to the Saints. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I think that the Panthers will be winning this one. I think that by this moment, at beating the Jets, their offense is going to be clicking. They're going to be looking good. And the Panthers will take the first game at home here. This 2-game home stretch. Zach, what are your thoughts?
I got the Saints. Alvin Kamara is going to be running all over that defense. And the Saints are back in the playoffs race. So that's kind of cool, but anybody could be in the playoff race. Like even freaking the Colts, which is the worst team in my thing, can be in the playoffs still. But yeah, that's a success for a little bit. But I got the Saints. The Saints have Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, some good pieces. So yeah. And finally, our final matchup of this week, Detroit versus Green Bay. I'm gonna hand this one off to Josh.
I think that the Green Bay Packers will be winning here. I don't believe it'll be anything pretty. They're going to be winning just because of Aaron Jones and Jordan Love having a really good game against the Lions, especially at Lambeau. So I think Monday Night Football will go down with the Packers winning. So I'm going to hand this one off to Zach for take.
Don't sleep on this Packers team, but if they don't have Aaron Rodgers, they're still competitive. I got Green Bay. Jack.
I'm also going to go Green Bay here. Now, just to clarify, like I did last episode, the Lions are going to be a good team in a couple of years. Unfortunately, they will not be this year. And I think overall, Green Bay's just complete. They're ready to go. And if they have Rodgers, they'll take care of business here. And I think Detroit, there's a chance that they steal a game or two later in the year, but Week 2 with a new QB, new coach against Aaron Rodgers, who's looking to win a Super Bowl. If he's back, it's going to be a Packers win here.
Okay, well, that does it for has everyone set their take?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, that does it for our video today. We'll go into more depth about this when actually teams start playing. So this is just like a brief explanation, and this is fun videos to make. But if you liked it, what should they do, Josh?
If you like it, set up the 2 cans. Hit that like button, punch that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you're updated on all the different videos that we put out. And just have some fun with this off season. We have stuff planned until, I would say, August. And that's when the season starts. And don't forget, everyone, it's 100 days until the NFL season starts. So don't worry, every single week we're going to tell you how many days until the NFL season starts. Because we're as excited as you guys are. But we just decided to get some podcasting so that we can have more viewers join the Frontline Football fan base. Oh, you don't know what the Frontline Football fan base is? All you gotta do is subscribe, like, follow, anything just on the platform that you're in. What we're not gonna do because now we're putting this into a podcast setup. Just watch our videos, listen to our stuff. It's a great season, and hey, maybe you might find something that you like. I just want to say thank you for making it to the end of the video or the podcast, wherever you're watching from. And have a great day. And I've been Josh on Football, and Jack, hit the plugs.
As always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at FrontlineFB. Links will be in the description as always, and if I can, I'll get the podcast link down there too if you guys prefer to listen in podcast forms. So all that will be out. These will come out pretty consistently, and we'll go through it, and eventually you'll get to see what our playoffs looks like and how it pans out to our predictions, how it pans out to the actual season, and we'll see. It's going to be a fun season, I think, and we'll see you guys back here next week for Week 3.
See ya.